So he doesn't really want to share. And so they're screaming back there. And also, it is like super crazy in this house because there are 4 kids and 2 of the boys are like too young to understand anything. So it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, we missed you yesterday, and was it even crazier yesterday?
Yeah, since we just so actually we went to a place, a beach actually. We went to a beach for 3 days and we stayed in a hotel there. And so it was a 4-hour drive there and we just came back yesterday. And so yesterday was super crazy and we went to a place called Sugar Kingdom. There we got a lot of sugar. And then when so one of our cousins ate too much sugar, got a sugar rush yesterday, and started beating people. And yeah, it got crazy. So it
goes downhill very quickly when something fun ends up basically ruining the day for you all with that sugar rush. Okay, we are short on time, so I'll get to, I see a few other questions and comments. I'll get to those in just a little bit. But let's start on the Pledge of Allegiance and school motto for right now. And Dikshita, I hope you can see and hear us. Would you unmute yourself and say the pledge for us?
I pledge of the allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor those things which are good, true, and beautiful. Respect. I'll show respect to others at all times. Service. I'll show good things to others without being asked. Excellence. I'll strive for excellence and in all things. Perseverance. I'll feel commitment and I'll feel commitment and without discouragement.
Or act on discouragement.
Not give up.
Very good. Thank you, Dikshita. Hey, boys and girls, please join me for a moment of silence, and then we'll start on some phonograms. Okay, boys and girls, let's start on some phonogram and spelling review now. Can you take out your whiteboard and marker? Move to another side of the room to stand up for a little bit. Okay, well, let's start with some phonograms that make the sound E today. Who can tell me a phonogram that makes the sound E? Alina?
E-double-E always says E.
Great one. Let's write E-double-E always says E. Hold it up as soon as you're done, please, boys and girls. You should have your whiteboards out and ready to go. Come on, Marcus. E-double-E always says E. Oh my goodness, Tig has a bunch of phonograms that make that E sound. Very good. Sahanasri, can you tell us another? Marcus, it's okay, come on. Let's wake on up if you need to kind of wiggle your head around. That might help you to wake yourself up. Sahanasri, could you give us another? How about like in the word read? What makes the E sound in read?
E-A.
Good. E-A. Everyone please write E-A. Samhita, do you know another one that makes an E sound?
A-E.
Good. A-E. There are two of them. There's A-E that we do use at the end of English words and A-E that we do not use at the end of English words. Please write both of them. Great job, Marcus. Looking like you're waking up. Who can tell me another phonogram that makes an E sound? Emma?
E.
Good. E. It's a single letter phonogram, so we don't need to underline it. We should have all of these so far. We've got E-double-E always says E. Can you say it with me? E-double-E always says E. E-A-A. E-A-A. A-E that we do use at the end of English words. Great job, Emma, Josiah, for saying along with me. A-E that we do not use at the end of English words. And A-E. Alexander, can you think of another one?
Yeah, I-E.
Oh, good one. I-E. Like in Alina's name, it says that E sound. Josiah, can you tell me another one?
Is it E? E-I. We say E-I, but we write I-E.
Very good. That's another one. E-I. We say E-I, but we write I-E. And looks like Harika can think of another.
Yeah, I-E.
Way to go. Yeah, I-E. Okay, let's leave it at that for now. Wow, lots of phonograms make that E sound. Now, who knows which one says an E sound in gasoline? That's going to be our first word today. Which of these phonograms says the E sound in gasoline? Rishit?
The I.
Good. I-E says that. What's the badger for, Tig?
Come on. Okay. Work, thing, work. Ding, ding.
We're having some technical issues over in the Mannion house. I can't hear you very well.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, well, Badgers for this one song that my dad plays a lot, and pretty much all it says is, it's a betcher, 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 mushroom, mushroom, betcher, betcher. And then on the fourth time through, it says, it's a snake, ooh, it's a snake. And then that goes on for 3 minutes.
Wow. Anybody ever heard of that song? Not me. That is quite an unusual one. At least it's easy to remember all the words. Okay, everyone please write gasoline. Ooh. Gasoline. Next up, please write petroleum. 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 Great job, Harika. Samhita, so close. It is going to be the E saying its name in an open syllable for petroleum. Sometimes it is that I-U-M spelling, though, for that sound. But it should be an E in this word. Great job, Sahanasri. Great job, Aryansh. Petroleum. Everybody check that yours matches mine. Marcus, can I see your writing? Marcus, can you hold up your words? I need to see that you're writing our spelling words. Our next one is suitcase. Marcus, you need to be writing the words. You can't just listen. Thank you. Looks like you're getting your supplies. Suitcase. Compound word. It's just case for your suits. Suitcase. Hold it up when you're done. Suitcase. Next up, let's write municipal. Municipal government is like local government. Municipal. We think to spell municipal, like principal. Great job, Alexander, for really sounding out the words. I can tell he is saying it as he writes it. Municipal should look like this. Next up, let's do mischief. We think to spell mischief. The second syllable is like a chief, Native American chief. Mischief. Once again, great job to Alexander, really sounding it out every time he writes. Way to go. So close to Hanasri, but we're going to use the EI backwards phonogram for this one. Because you usually use I before E, with a few exceptions, like after C or when it says an A sound. Mischief. Now, who remembers how to make it the adjective mischievous? What do we change? Alexander?
We dropped the F.
That's right. We're going to drop that F and change it to
V.
V, and add our OUS adjective suffix. Mischievous. Great job, Rishith. You're rocking these today. I think you've got them all right so far, right? Good job. Mischievous. Make sure it's not, you don't write mischievous. Some people end up pronouncing it that way, but it's mischievous. We don't want to add an extra E in there It's mischievous. Switching out the F for a V and adding our adjective suffix. Great job for those of you who got it right. Mischievous. Okay, one more word for review today. The last one is triumph. A feather in your cap, the idiom from yesterday, is a triumph. It's a big accomplishment. It's also a fun word to say, triumph. We didn't end up having this other word, but we could say triumphant for an adjective form of the word. Triumph. Excellent. Give me a triumphant dance if you spelled all the words correctly in our review today. Give me a triumphant dance. Oh, that's a nice one, Marcus. Oh, I think Alexander's dance shows a feather in his cap. Is that what that is? Nice. Okay, boys and girls, that is all for review today. Let's get started on a new lesson. So you'll need to switch out your whiteboard for your binder. I'm going to move us back over to the desk. We've got a little friend here too. He says hello.
What's his name, Miss Gardner?
I call him Mr. Bones, since he's a skeleton. And there's a silly little song from the movie White Christmas. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that, but there's a song called Mr. Bones in that one. But you all could think of a different nickname. Do you have one in mind, Samhita?
No, I just forgot. I like this one.
But I think I told you that I named my skeleton heads for Halloween.
Ooh. Harika, do you have an idea?
Skinny.
What's that?
Mr. Skinny.
Mr. Skinny. Oh, I like that one too. Tig?
I think you should name him Seth. Seth the skeleton.
Ooh, that could work. Dikshita? I think she's got a good one.
Mr. Skelly.
Ooh, Skelly, that's cute too. Mr. Skelly. Okay, I'll open up the chat for a moment. You can write your suggestion for what our friendly little skeleton should be nicknamed. You need to see him one more time to get a good idea. Here he is. I don't think that there's any way of knowing actually if it's a boy or girl for these ones. I think that I was thinking boy, but Oh, just a little short nickname, Mr. B. Timmy the Tibia. Ooh, that's a nice one. It is not real. Nope, it is. They're fake bones. Oh, could be an Easter name. I like that thought. Okay, well, fun ideas. I'm going to close back up the chat. So we've got a few different. Oh, Emma, were you about to type something?
Yeah, I was about to type something too.
Okay.
Did we just say it?
Yes, you can just tell me.
Wait, hold up. I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, I'll try to think of it.
Okay, let me know if you do. Closing back up the chat. Fun ideas. I like these name ideas. Jeff the Savage Cell Skeleton Wobble. R.I.P. Mr. Skinny Bones. Mr. Bones and Mr. Halloween Jack Sparrow. Good ideas. We might have to take a vote later. Okay, boys and girls, let's get our paper ready to go for our new lesson.
Mr. Skelly Bones.
Skelly Bones, that's cute. Okay, for our new spelling lesson today, our first one is going to come from a word we had yesterday. Remember, we learned allege and allegiance. To say, the word allege means to make a claim, like, it's alleged that Mr. Bones is actually Mr. Skelly Halloween Skinny Bones. It's actually, that wouldn't be the best way to use alleged, but or we could say, it's alleged that Mr. Bones broke into the other classroom. It's like an accusation of something wrong that was done. Mickey. That's a fun idea too. So the thing that is the claim you're making, like what I just said about Mr. Bones, which may or may not be real, we call that thing an allegation. Can you all say allegation? Allegation.
Alligator?
Like there was an allegation against the skeleton for going into Mrs. Cristiano's classroom. Or there was an allegation against Marcus for taking a bald eagle. Oh no, he took a bald eagle from the zoo. I think I saw that. Okay, so allegation is the word. It's going to come from that word allege. Can you sound it out with me? Allegation. 4 syllables. First syllable, a, with a silent ul to keep the vowel short, just like in the last word. Next syllable, ul, egg. Oh, Quirpsy, that is a good one. Alleg. Next syllable, a, says its name in an open syllable. Allegay. And then final syllable is Sean. N, the normal Sean suffix with sh, tall letter sh. Please pick up your pencil and write allegation. Allegation. Ooh. So allegation. It's a claim that someone did something wrong, but it's not definitely true. It could be proven wrong. Allegation. All right, let's go over this correct spelling. Syllable break. Syllable break. A syllable break. Allegation. Okay, for markings, Alina, would you like to walk through what we'll do for the markings?
Okay. So first things first, you double underline the first L.
Good.
Do you put a thinking cap on the E?
Allegation. Yeah, actually, I think that would be best. It's unstressed. Great job on that.
Okay. Next, you underline the A.
Very good.
Then you do the normal you underline the stalosh and I mean thinking cap the O.
You're right. Yeah, the normal markings for the Sean suffix. And because of that Sean suffix, we change the part of speech to what?
Adjective.
Close, a noun.
Noun, right.
So with that Sean suffix, it makes it a noun. Anytime you see the Sean suffix, it should make you think it's a noun. Samhita?
Actually, it's not something so important. So can I say after the spelling lesson?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, Harika, fun ideas. But let's hold off on nicknames. But I will definitely take those into consideration. Those are some good nicknames. Okay, our next word is cement. Would you all say cement? Probably all of you, if you look out the window somewhere, you might see some cement. Maybe if you have a little deck area, or if you are able to see like your driveway or the road, then you probably can see cement. Cement is usually used for just that material for like a driveway or a road, but it also can be used as a verb to mean like you're really firm in your ideas. Like she cemented her plans. That is like the action of she made it really firm. It was definitely going to happen. Okay, so the word is cement. We end up kind of putting the emphasis on the second syllable, but to sound it out clearly, it's cement. Can you say it with me? Cement. 2 syllables. In the first syllable, s-e, we have ks, saying its second sound because it's followed by an e. In the second syllable, m-e-n-t, 4 sounds, it's basic code, cement. M-e-n-t. Pick up your pencil and write cement. Like a cement driveway. Great job, Alexander. Just like you did in practice, really clearly sounding it out as you write. That is so, so good. Cement is what we should write. Deekshita, if you can hear me, would you turn your camera on? Thank you. Cement. Great job, Alina. Waiting on others to hold up their papers. Marcus, you need to write it now, and then we'll check our spelling, okay? Great job. Everyone hold theirs up so we can see it. You should be doing this after each word that you write. Cement. E, syllable break. T. Cement. And I'd love for Alexander to mark it.
Yay! All right. So, first syllable E, no. E, no.
E.
I said it wrong. You underline it or thinking cap, I think underline.
I think both would be best because it's an open syllable, but it's unstressed.
And I think the second syllable is basic code.
Very good. So that's it. Just that one phonogram gets marked. This one's a noun and occasionally a verb, although not nearly as much. Okay, boys and girls, for the next word. We have a similar spelling pattern. The word is cemetery. Would you all say cemetery? Oh, I see Tyke excited. What is a cemetery?
Can you hear me? It's a place where people bury dead relatives. That's
right. Yeah, so it's a place where people get buried. A cemetery. Not everyone ends up being buried in a cemetery, but maybe some of you have visited a relative, a grandparent or great-grandparent before at a cemetery. All right, so that's right. It's Corpsey's time to shine. Because after many, many years, people buried in cemeteries start to look like Corpsey over there. After some decaying. So.
Me and my dad saw the grave of some famous poet.
Okay, let's do cemetery. Can you all sound it out with me? Cemetery. 4 syllables. Okay. Cemetery is going to start with a k, saying its second sound because it's followed by an E, just like in cement. Now, is a basic code. Cemetery, 3 sounds. That's an E. All of the vowels are going to be at ease so far. And then the final syllable is E. And at the end of the word, I-E is what we use for that E sound. So it's a bunch of single letter phonograms. Cemetery. Pick up your pencil and write it, please. If you have some mistakes, it's okay, we'll go over it. But all of your vowels should be E except for that last syllable. Cemetery. Syllable break. Syllable break. Syllable break. E. Cemetery. Check that yours matches mine. If you've got some corrections that you need to make, cross it out and rewrite it. I think the most common mistake is that people will sometimes put an A here or an I here, but it should be E's all the way through until you get to the end. Cemetery. Hold yours up, please, boys and girls. I didn't end up seeing very many before. So hold yours up now, please. Thank you. Okay, for markings, could I have, I'll have Alexander mark it.
Okay. So for cemetery. So the first syllable is basic. No. The C. You put a 2 on top of the C because it's making a second sound.
Good.
And you go to the next syllable.
Mm-hmm.
E gets an underline and thinking cap.
Very good.
Underline ER.
Cemetery. Well, just a second. Actually, I'm going to stick with the manual of this and see if they do that with a thinking cap, or no, they're just going to mark it as it single letters. So we'll just put a thinking cap on the E since it says an air sound.
Oh, okay.
But I had to double check that one too. That they kind of switched up. Okay, and last syllable, what do we do?
You put a 3 on top of the Y because it's making its sound.
You got it.
Yeah, E.
So this is a noun. Okay, boys and girls, that is not all. We've got one more. Our last word for today is acquaint. Would you all say acquaint? Now, you'll hear more often the word acquaintance, which we're going to do tomorrow. But this word acquaint means to become familiar with. You might say, you're going to get acquainted with Mr. Skelly over there or Mr. Corpsey. You'll get quite acquainted with Corpsey over the next few weeks as we study the skeletal system and the muscular system. Right? Or you could say, Almanzo almost got acquainted with this black bear. He was so close. So it's like to get to know, basically. Acquaint. We think to spell acquaint, there is the same spelling pattern as acquire. Do you guys remember that? Acquire. Okay, it's going to be the same spelling pattern as that. Acquaint. Acquaint. 2 syllables. First syllable is ac, which ends up being silent. It's just there to keep the vowel short. And second syllable, qua, a, t, 4 sounds. The A is a 2-letter A that we do not use at the end of English words. So acquaint. Please pick up your pencil and write it. Yes, Kruti?
I have a question about science.
Go ahead.
So, like we can stop breathing for like a few seconds, but why can we not stop hearing?
Wait, what are you saying?
So like you can stop breathing for like a second, like underwater or something like that, but why can't you stop hearing
Oh,
without
very
closing your?
good question. I thought you said reading at first, but breathing. So like when you're underwater,
You can stop breathing, but you can't stop hearing.
so you stop breathing underwater because you don't have the oxygen needed to be able to breathe with your lungs. We can't, fish actually, they do breathe oxygen through the water, but through gills, a special way of breathing. As far as hearing, though, sound actually can travel quite fast through water. And so it just those sound waves keep traveling through the water. Does that make sense? So our bodies are just not designed to be able to keep breathing underwater, but sound travels to all of us pretty well through the water. Although I'm sure that like fish hear better underwater than we would because their ears would be designed a little differently.
No, like we can stop breathing, but why can we not stop hearing either if you're in underwater or not in water? Like you can like hold your breath even if you're not underwater.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like we can't choose to stop hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we only stop breathing if we like hold our breath, hold our nose, or like specifically hold that breath from coming in and out. But our instinct would be that eventually it would come through. We can similarly like put our fingers over our ears and we kind of muffle it somewhat. So it's kind of similar, actually. But
you can
good
also
question.
stop breathing without like holding your nose. But why can't we do that with our ears?
I don't think that we have a way of closing it off. We'll get to it in just a minute. Let me finish this word, and then it might be easier if I have the camera back on. So acquaint, let's put a thinking cap on that first A-A-aw, and double underline ks. Then underline qua, you never use Q without U. A, two-letter A, and this is a verb. Acquaint. We'll do this again with the next word tomorrow, acquaintance, which is a person that you're familiar with. Acquaint is the action of getting familiar with another person. Okay, please write these in cursive. It looks like Alina did so already. Great job, sweetie. So start writing these in cursive. And Kruthi, to answer your question, I think that this might explain it a little better. If we choose to, we can voluntarily stop breathing even without covering our mouth and nose because we can close up our throat. It tightens it basically so that air doesn't come in and out. But with our ears, there's no way of just stopping that. Like we can't just close up anything in our ears to not let sound waves come in. So the only way to stop hearing from something is to like put earplugs in or cover it because we can't just close it. Whereas our throat inside, it actually starts to tighten so that air can't come in and out. Okay, last couple questions. It looks like Ariane has one, and you should all be writing in cursive. And then we will have a quote from Farmer Boy to write in cursive as well.
So there's typical only one way you could not hear at all is when you take a bath. Your ears kind of get plugged in.
Sometimes, yeah, when you take a bath or swim, you can get water closed up in your ear, and it almost acts like an earplug because it's kind of blocking that passageway somewhat. That's a good point.
And I have another thing to share too. Today's the day 153 years ago, on March 30th, United States bought Alaska from Russia.
Oh, that's really interesting. So the anniversary of Russia being part of the United States. Did you see that on Google? Sometimes they have like specific little moments pop up.
No, my dad told me.
Oh, that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that. It's also 2 days away from April Fools. I know some of you guys are excited about that. And a few more days from Easter. Oh, I love Easter. I'm excited for that. Okay. Yes, Samhita?
Whenever you said for a name for the skeleton, I thought of Mr. Rattlebones.
Ooh, that's a good one too. He is kind of rattly, making lots of noise. Okay, you should be done with your cursive. Let me see your cursive words. And when you're done with those, we're also going to write a quote from Farmer Boy yesterday, and I bet you can know which one I'm going to say. There was one specific quote that was in Farmer Boy, Josiah. You know what it is? That's pretty famous. You might have heard of it other times too.
Like I forgot what it was, but it means that that if you work all day, you get dull, and you have to have some time to play.
You were so close. You got the meaning of it. You can't just work all day. You need to play. But do you remember the exact phrasing? Emma, it looks like you do.
It was dang it, I just really
I'll get you started. All work and
all
need some help.
yeah.
All work and what, Dikshita? Uh-oh. Kruthi, help her out.
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
That's right. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Now, it doesn't really matter that it's Jack specifically. That was just a common name. But it just means you've got to do a balance. You need to have a balance of work and play. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Do y'all know what it means to be dull? It means boring. You don't want to be boring. You need to have some interest in life. It's important to have fun, to laugh with your friends, to have hobbies and things that are interesting to you. So all work, let me straighten this up. And no play makes Jack a dull boy. So they said that, I think it was Father who said that, so that Almanzo would be able to go outside and go berrying. And that was still work, but it was fun work. Kind of a break from their normal. Do all of you have time that you get to play? Or I know, like Emma, you do tennis. That's a great way to break some of the work up in the day. Tig, Josiah, do you have playtime throughout the day?
Yeah.
Good. Kind of like recess almost. Josiah, what about you?
Yeah, I have playtime after recess. after that.
Good. Arianch, do you get playtime?
I mean, everyone should get playtime at least once a day.
Absolutely.
But I only get my playtime after I finish all my assignments.
Okay. Well, that's good motivation to get them done. Yeah, even grown-ups need to have some playtime where work out and maybe play some sports. Samhita, what do you do for your playtime?
So usually every day after my little sister's class, they're in kindergarten, they go to Miss Wood's class. So after 2 o'clock, that's when their class ends. We always go out and play with Rashi because she's my neighbor.
I don't think I knew that you guys were so close. Oh, that's great.
Actually, a second grader was my first friend, but then soon we found out that we had another neighbor, so we started to play with Rashi, and turns out I didn't know she would be in my class.
Yeah, and you'll get to see her next week.
So I'm really excited.
I bet. Yeah. Remember that next week we'll do MAP testing, ACTS fire testing. So you'll come into school Monday and Tuesday. And the 8:30 class and the 11:30 class are both going to be in the same room testing at the same time. So you all get to see each other. So I'm sure you guys are all excited to see each other, but you'll also see your friends from the other class. So that'll be great.
Actually, we always jump on the trampoline and ride our scooters.
Oh, that sounds great. Yep, it is so important for you all to still have playtime. I love hearing that. Okay, well, boys and girls, we need to get started on some well-ordered language now. Can you all take out your well-ordered language workbook? And help me remember to have some orthography time because I forgot to have us write our words yesterday. So we need to do yesterday's words and today's words. Oh, it's okay, Arianj. It's not too much. Okay, time for well-ordered language. We are going to keep going with some conjunctions and compound subjects. Can somebody sing the conjunction junction song? Josiah?
I only know some of it.
Okay, you can sing the part you know.
Junction, what's your function? Working on clauses and phrases.
Looking up words and phrases and clauses. They've got and, but, nor. They'll take you pretty far. Those are the main conjunctions we're going to be working with. So would you all turn to page, where is it? 128 for today. 128. Everyone, can you hold up your workbooks? I can see you are ready to go. I've got my finger in the page to save it. Page 128. Let me write that in the chat as well. I haven't seen Alina in a bit. Where is Alina? Can you hear me, sweetie? Once again, show me your well-ordered language workbooks. Workbook 1B. We do not need to have 1A nearby since we're not going to use that for the rest of the year. Marcus, do you have your book? So today we're going to be putting into practice these compound subjects. Who remembers how we mark the conjunction in our sentence now? Samhita?
Give it some wings.
Give it some wings. That's right. Give your conjunction some wings. And now we're looking at two subjects, but they both are still just marked like a normal subject. Underline and put an S on top. Ariane, did you have a question?
Nope.
Okay, well, let's start with a little lesson on what verbs we need with a compound subject. In this example sentence, it says Lucy and Fritz usually climb on the jungle gym. Now, if we said just one, would we say Fritz usually climb on the jungle gym? No. What would we say instead? Josiah?
Climb.
Good. We would say climbs. But we have a plural subject. Lucy and Fritz, two people. Lucy and Fritz usually climb. So when you're choosing a verb for a compound subject like this, basically treat it like it's a plural subject. So Theo and Winston blink to the park. What would be a good verb for both of them? Tig?
I think it would be good to do. I had a really good one. What was it?
Can I give you a good one?
What? Sorry, what?
I said I could maybe help you out with a funny one.
Okay.
How about they waddle to the park?
Okay.
Can you all show me a waddle? How you might waddle to the park? Oh, good waddles. That's just a silly one, but it does show the practice of, we'll say waddle, not waddles, but waddle to the park. Rishith, what might Peggy and you do? Peggy and you blink, bringing the water bottles later.
Peggy.
Oh, I don't know about that one, Tig.
Peggy and you.
So we've got a predicate verb here. We just need a helping verb.
Isn't
Are or were.
Peggy and you isn't bringing the water bottle later? Water bottles later?
Oh, okay, so are not. Peggy and you are not bringing the water bottles later. So we're going to use the word are, not is, because it's both Peggy and you. Peggy and you are not bringing the water bottles later. What about Heidi and I blank the soccer equipment? We're missing a verb. Not just a helping verb, but a predicate verb. Dikshita, what could go in the blank?
Play.
Good. Heidi and I, it would need play with, but we can add that. We can add a preposition as well. Play with the soccer equipment. What about the next one? Uncle Ulysses and the boys blink coming to the game too. Now coming is a predicate verb, so that means we're missing a helping verb again. What would be a helping verb that could go along with it? Marcus?
A helping verb.
Uncle Ulysses and the boys blank coming to the game too. What do you think could go in that blank?
Like coming to the game too.
Oh, that would work. That basically just, that's the predicate verb, and this changes it up, but we can still do like. They like coming to the game too. That's good. Okay, boys and girls, now let's skip over to page 129, and we're going to have some practice of how to mark a sentence with conjunctions. Okay, now, sentence number 1. Ariane, would you read it for us?
So in sentence number 1, it says, you and I can surprise the cousins with water balloons.
Good. Now, Ariane, do you see the compound subject in this sentence?
And
So that's the conjunction. Good. And is the conjunction. What are the two subjects?
the two subjects are you and I.
Very good. So you and I are both subjects here. And who remembers how we mark the conjunction? Emma?
Put 2 little wings.
Little wings, that's right. Can you put little wings around the conjunction and then we mark both you and I with an underline and a S for subject. Since that's the new part, I wanted to get to that right away. But we should be looking for the prepositional phrases still first, because the order of analysis is phrases, clauses, principal elements, and modifiers. So let's look for prepositional phrases. Do you see any? Harika, do you see a prepositional phrase?
What?
Do you see a prepositional phrase? Can you read the whole sentence aloud and see if you find a prepositional phrase?
You and I can surprise the cousins with the water balloons. Surprise?
No, remember a prepositional phrase has that preposition connector word with an object of the preposition. Who spots it? There's one prepositional phrase. Who spots it? Okay, Harika, take another guess. What would be a connector word and an object of the preposition?
Water balloons?
Oh, so close. Water balloons is part of it. What's the other part of it, Emma?
Was it with water balloons?
Perfect. You got it. With water balloons. That whole thing is your prepositional phrase. Harika, remember with is a preposition. Some of the most common prepositions are with, of, or to. Those are really common ones.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
That's okay. I know it's been a while. Okay, so with water balloons, with is our preposition. I'm going to call water balloons, the whole thing, our object of the preposition. But you also could say balloons is the object of the prepositions and water is an adjective modifying it. Now, what are you and I doing? What's the verb? Ty, in this sentence, what does it say you and I are doing?
Surprising the cousins with water balloons.
That's right. So what's the predicate verb? What's the action?
Surprise.
Very good. What is can doing in this sentence?
Can is the helping verb.
Good. Helping the verb. Now, what about cousins over here? Who can figure out what cousins is doing in this sentence?
Direct object.
Oh, good job. You got it, Ty. Cousins is the DO. It's who gets surprised.
I also drew angry eyebrows on the Lucy.
Oh, goodness. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to do sentence 2 on your own. Uh-oh, that changes the picture, definitely. Just a little tiny eyebrow change can really alter the story. Okay, boys and girls, do sentence 2 on your own, and then we'll go over the answers. I'll give you a couple minutes to do it. Thumbs up when you're finished with sentence 2. Okay, and then for the sake of time, I'll just have one person tell us all of the parts of speech. Okay, let's have maybe Ariane, would you do, or actually Dikshita? Yeah, go ahead, Dikshita. Can you tell us each part of speech in the sentence?
Did is the helping verb. Uncle of
Ulysses.
Ulysses is the subject. Or is the compound?
Conjunction.
Yeah, conjunction. He is also a subject. Put is the predicate verb. Balloon is the DL. Does the adjective for the balloons. In the crate is the preposition. In is the preposition. Crate is the object of the preposition. The modifies the object of the preposition.
Excellent job. Let's give Dikshita a hand. She got every single word correct. Well done, Dikshita. I am so impressed. First day and already doing so well with this. Okay, so, oh, Tig, let's not show those. Okay, I need you staying focused on what we're doing. In the pages that you're going to do for homework, pages 130 and 131, you'll have some practice of the conjunctions and compound subjects. So hopefully that's feeling pretty easy. Okay, boys and girls, at this time, let's put our well-ordered language workbooks away. And one last quick thing for for literacy time is that we're going to write our words in Orthography Notebook. And we'll need to pretty quickly transition over. So take out your notebook and turn to page 60 with me, please. Excellent work. I see Aryansh moving things around as he takes a little snack, little multitasking. Okay, here are yesterday's words. So let's go ahead and start with those. We had dispense, value, valued, valuing. Then we had allege and allegiance. Okay, boys and girls, after you're done with lesson 89, for lesson 90 today, we had allegation, allegation, cement, cemetery, and acquaint. Okay, so we'll write those. And then that will be all for orthography. What's that, sweetie?
Can you move it a little so I can see the rest of the words, the first words?
Is that better?
Move it this way.
That way?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know when you're done with that, boys and girls, because then we'll move on to some math time. Okay, perfect. If that wasn't quite enough time, it looked like most of you were done, but some of you still working. After class today, please open up your binder and get the words from there, okay? Okay, at this time, let's transition over to some math. We are going to be using our math notebook mainly today and talking about a little acquaintance, a little friend. Maybe not quite as fun as Mr. Corpsey, Mr. Bones, but his name is Gallon Man. Who has heard of Gallon Man before? Anybody know Gallon Man?
What?
He is going to become your friend, Mr. Gallon Man. And And he looks a little like this. Mr. Gallon Man. Mr. Gallon Man, he changes shape occasionally, but he is here to help you remember how to do liquid measurements. Because unlike the metric system, there's not one set way of just memorizing all the numbers. So Mr. Gallon Man is here to help. Anybody heard of Mr. Gallon Man? Nope. Sometimes he changes his shape to look a little bit more like a gallon of milk. And sometimes he's just simply changing shape to some letters. So Mr. Gallon Man is going to help you out very much as we memorize the liquid forms of measurement. So just like we did yesterday, we're going to start off class with some note taking so that you know how to convert liquid measurements. And probably a lot of you have some of these liquid forms of measurement at home. How many of you get milk in the gallon? If you've got a big family especially, you probably go through a lot of milk, and so maybe you get gallons of milk.
Whenever I was looking on my like a water bottle thing that holds like many water bottles, it said 20 OZ, which means
Ounce.
ounces.
Good.
So
Very good. Yeah, as soon as you start learning about these, you're probably going to notice it all over the place. Now, I don't have anything that's a full gallon. The largest measuring cup I have is a liter. On the other side, though, it tells that that this is equal to 1 quart. So 4 of these equal 1 gallon, which is the biggest form of liquid measurement in the customary system. And I'm sure that even if you guys don't have gallons of milk at home, you've at least seen things in a gallon jug before, right? That is the biggest customary way of measuring liquids. Now this is 1 liter, which is equal to 1 quart. A quart. And that probably sounds pretty similar to quarter. And just like there are 4 quarters in a dollar, there are 4 quarts in a gallon. Because quart means 4. So there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Now there are also 4 cups in 1 quart. And as you can see here, there's the little pint section because there are 2 pints in 1 quart. So those are the terms we need to know. Gallon, gallons for the biggest, quart, then pint, then cup. Okay, let's write about them. We're going to make our own little gallon man. So at the top of our page, let's write our header. It is March 30th. And over here we'll do math lesson 15.3. Okay, so we're going to be doing customary liquid capacity. Or volume. Actually, we'll write. So this is specifically for volume. How much liquid is in a specific item? Okay, so we'll go from smallest to biggest in this chart. Now, a cup is the smallest way of measuring liquid capacity. Now, if you need to go smaller than a cup, we end up using just fractions of a cup. I don't think you'll need to know it for, yeah, you won't need to know it for this unit. But like in this one, this is equal to 1 cup of liquid. But if you want it to be less, then you can just say like 3/4 of a cup, 1/2 of a cup, 1/4 of a cup. You also can use ounces, but we're not going to talk about ounces for liquid. We would use ounces for like measuring how much fills this. Like if we put rice in here or something like that, we would talk about it with ounces. But for liquid, we'll talk about cups. Now there are 4 cups. That's our smallest one, which we abbreviate as just a little lowercase c. 4 cups in 1 pint. We abbreviate pint as PT. Yes, Tyke?
I'm sorry, how many cups are in a pint?
4 cups in 1 pint. Harika, it sounds like Harika's having a hard time getting back in. Now, next up from a pint is a quart. There are 2 quarts, or sorry, 2 pints in 1 quart. Again, we abbreviate pint as PT, and it equals 1 quart. We abbreviate quart as QT, like a little QT. And next up from a quart is a gallon. Just like there are 4 quarters in $1, there are also 4 quarts in 1 gallon.
Can you move it to the side a little?
This one, like this? Okay. And we abbreviate gallon as GAL. It's good to have these abbreviations written down because at times we'll talk about just the abbreviation. Yes, Rishith?
Can you move it a little down?
Like this. Is that better? Okay. Yes, Deekshita?
I'm sorry, how many quarts for 1 gallon?
4. 4 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, and then 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Okay, now Gallon Man is kind of tricky to draw, or he could be. So we're going to just stick with the big G and write out a helpful way of doing it that way. But if you want, I'll have the Gallon Man printout so that if you have a printer at home and want to add that to your notes, that's a good helpful visual. Once again, it looks like, oh, do I have it already presenting? Yeah. Yeah, like this one. I'll have a printable version of something like that so that if you want, you can print it out and add that to your notebook.
Can I draw it if I want to?
Yeah, definitely. I'll show you a simpler way of doing it though. Okay, so for the simpler way of doing it, I just want you to do a big capital G. And in that big capital G, we're going to do 4 letter Qs. So the G is for gallon, and because there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon, that's why we've got the 4 Qs. And then in each Q, we're going to put 2 Ps. Since there are 2 pints. Oh, you know what, boys and girls? I totally messed that up. The top part. There's 4 cups in 1 quart, not 4 cups in 1 pint. Sorry, just a moment. For this, change that 4 to a 2. 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. I'm sorry about that. I was looking at mine, and it's 4 cups in 1 quart. Now it's going to be small, but in each little P, you do 2 tiny C's. They're going to be teeny tiny. Because there are 2 cups in each of those little pints. So 2, 2, and 4. 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Did you guys finish up your Mr. G, Big G? Okay, and if you want to draw your own gallon man, you can. I will add that to Bright Thinker so that you can either print it off or draw your own version of it in your notes later. Yes, Harika?
So the meeting was kicking me out. So
Oh no, I'm sorry, sweetheart.
I didn't get to finish the top part.
Okay, let me show you that, and then if you need me to take a picture to share with you later, I can too.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So we're going to be focusing first on the smallest form of measurement, cups. Okay, so this is a pretty big measuring cup for exactly how much 1 cup is. Notice that all the way down here is 1 cup. Probably some of you have measuring cups at home and some things like this one. Nice, Rishit. That's a great gallon man. So a measuring cup is not exactly for liquids, even though it's really similar. Something like this is designed specifically for measuring liquids, though. So a cup is a standard customary unit for measuring capacity. We abbreviate it as a C. This picture shows that the capacity of this pitcher, if it was totally filled up and then it gets emptied into little cups, it's equal to 5 cups. Now, pints are the next biggest one. There are 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. So this shows 2 little cups in 1 pint. If these little cartons of milk contain a pint of milk, the total amount of milk in the 5 cartons is how many cups? Now, we can use multiplication to help us with this one, right? Each of these is 1 pint, which is the same as 2 cups. So how many cups of milk is that? Saha Nasri? How many cups of milk is this? If each of these is 1 pint, which means 2 cups, how many cups is this?
10 cups.
Perfect. It's 10 cups because we can just say 2 times 5. Next question says, suppose cranberry juice is your favorite drink. Would you rather have 2 pints or 2 cups of cranberry juice? Basically, it's asking which one's bigger, 2 pints or 2 cups? What do you think? Josiah, which one's bigger?
Pint.
Good. You would want 2 pints of cranberry juice if that's your favorite. Now, what about if you dislike yogurt? Would it be better to have 3 cups or 1 pint of yogurt? Aryansh?
1 pint, because 2 cups equals 1 pint, and that's just half, so it's 1.5. So 1 pint and a half for the 3 cups.
Very good. 1 pint is less because that's basically 2 cups, which is smaller than 3 cups. Or you could see this as 1.5. You don't want 1.5 pints of yogurt. 1.5 cups of, or pints, of yogurt if you dislike it. Okay. Last little section here says there are 2 pints in 1 quart. Okay. So 2 little pints in 1 quart. So if 1 pint is equal to 2 cups and 2 pints is equal to 4 cups, then 1 quart is equal to 2 pints and 1 quart also equals 4 cups. And Gallon Man or Big G can help you with that too. Because if you're trying to think of how many cups are in a quart, you can think, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Because if 2 are in 1 pint and there's 2 pints in a quart, that means 4 cups in a quart. Okay, last few questions here. Could I have Marcus unmute himself and read problem 6 and solve it?
Okay. Rodney spilled 2 cups of orange juice. Noah spilled 1 quart of cranberry juice. Who spilled more juice? Noah did.
Good. How do you know it's Noel?
because it practically just says how much a quart weighs up in the top.
Yeah, it kind of gives it away up there, doesn't it? A quart is 4 cups. Well, then that means a quart is bigger than 2 cups. Very good. Okay, next up, let's have Rishith do number 7. Can you read it for us and then solve it? Rishith, can you start reading number 7, starting with Lillian? Rishith? Rishith, is your audio working? Can you speak? Okay, I can't hear you, bud. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, let me have somebody else help out with this one. Alina, could you read number 7 for us?
Okay. Lillian has a pitcher that can hold 1 quart of water. She has a small bottle with a capacity of 1 pint. How many times does she pour water into the pitcher with her small bottle?
Still got more connection issues. I hope, can you hear me, Alina? Okay, so basically, how many pints are in 1 quart is what this is asking. How many times would you fill that bottle and then pour it into the pitcher? Alexander?
So, hold on. So we're doing a quart and then a pint.
Yeah, how many pints are in 1 quart?
It's like, let me look at the pint is. Oh, okay. 2?
Good. You would fill it 2 times. Last question, number 8. Tyke, would you read this one for us and solve it?
Okay. Let me pin your screen. No, I want to pin your.
Starting with Tabitha.
Tabitha. Come on, screen pin. Tabitha brought 321. Is that?
Bought 3 1-quart cans
of. I'll try this. Okay, good. Yes. Yeah. It just unpinned. Okay, it says Tabitha brought 3 1-quart cans. Blue.
Okay, I'll read it for you. I don't know. It seems like you can read part of it, but just not well. She bought 3 1-quart cans of blue paint and 4 1-pint cans of yellow paint. Did she buy more blue or yellow paint?
Oh, she bought more blue paint.
Good. How do you know 3 1-quart cans is more than 4 pints?
Because according to my gallon man, 1 quart bigger than 1 pint.
Good. We say pint, yeah. So 4 pints and 3 quarts. Well, we could convert quarts to pints and it would end up being 6. So that's more. 6 pints is more than 4. You can always convert the bigger one to something smaller and see which one's more. Okay, boys and girls, that's all for the textbook. Seems like that's going to be pretty easy for you guys. You answered the questions really well. We've got 2 pages for homework today about cups, pints, and quarts. And I will have Gallon Man posted so that you can do print him off if that's helpful. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to stop recording here, and my camera